Shahrukh Khan, what do you think of him?
If an MS Dhoni was in there, maybe I wouldn't have worked as hard as I should have. I'm lucky to have an owner like him, to put it in a nutshell. So, we're very close to each other. We have a lot of good things to.
Hey guys, here we have the man for all seasons, the man who never says no to any of the challenges that is thrown at him. We have Dinesh Karthik here in Sportskeeda's Mind Voice. Dinesh, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
So, how has it been, KKR?
Oh, it's been fantastic. I think always I've enjoyed coming for the last 2 years here. Terrific franchisee, great set of people to be around. So I've really enjoyed being part of the setup.
So, KKR captaincy, how do you see that?
It's been a challenge. It's obviously a high pressure tournament. It's played over 2 months, so there's a lot of intense matches, lots of ups and downs. So it's a great challenge as a leader to keep everybody's spirits up, handle each player differently. So it's been really good.
Be honest with this. Does Dipika watch your matches?
No, she's not a big fan of cricket. She watches a little bit. I think I don't know how much exactly she's watching. Not a big cricket fan as such, so she doesn't watch a lot of the sports. But these days I notice whenever I come back, she's there's some IPL highlights going on and she's watching it. So I think she's slowly getting there.
What did she tell you after that Mirage Trophy innings?
She didn't even know actually that I had played. She had gone for dinner and she had she was chilling with her sisters. And then somebody has told them that this happened or that happened, and that's when that's when she got to know. She wasn't even aware of it.
So she got surprised after that. What people react to it and how people reacted to that incident?
Maybe after a couple of days, 2-3 days later, maybe she was like, "Wow, that's he's done something big." But up until then, initially she wasn't even aware of it. So she's not too clued on to what's happening, and she obviously has got her own career. Apart from which she follows my cricket, but she's not into it, and in such a way that she gets affected too much.
But does that actually, in a way, help you chill down at home? So when Deepika is there around, she's not talking cricket. There's no one at home who's going to say, "DK should have played this, should have done that." Does that actually help you in a way?
Yeah, I think it's sometimes, obviously, when you're playing the sport, there are a lot of people who watch the sport. Like my parents are totally into it, and there are a lot of people in the periphery who enjoy watching the sport. But it's good to have somebody who's not that attached to the sport as well. It kind of feels that you have a life away from the sport, which is very helpful. You have a very detached personal life, which I think is very important as well.
DK, you were active on Instagram. Deepika is active on Instagram, and there's another person called Dinesh Karthik, the puppy that you have.
Yes.
It's a Labradoodle, right?
Yes, it's a Labradoodle. And we've been their parents for 3 years now. She's been 3. So obviously we enjoy spending time with her, and she's got a fair amount of followers as well. So that's good.
Some 9,000 odd followers on Instagram.
She's I'm sure she's enjoying her time in the social media.
Talk us about Abhishek Nair and that House of Pain. Did he really torture you?
He didn't. I think he planned to put me through some tough things that we should be doing so that I get mentally slightly tougher. But the House of Pain was a feature that happened by itself because he was living in that house. For him, it was normal. For me, coming from a slightly luxurious background, so to say, it was going in there, smaller rooms, smaller toilets. It was a very difficult challenge initially. So it is a very different thing. People who live in Bombay, people who live in Chennai, flat sizes. I mean, obviously, the real estate is far more expensive in Bombay. So the affordability is a lot lesser, and obviously the sizes of the houses and the rooms are far smaller than what you see in Chennai. So it was very different and difficult for me initially.
How does this guy DK 2.0 turn up actually? There's a guy who's totally hyper, and then we see this calm finisher DK now.
Yeah, I think I keep saying this, that off the field I'm still obviously I have a lot of energy. I'm very restless. A lot of things do keep breaking and falling whenever I'm around. But on the field, I think I found a way to react to the situation that is thrown at me and the challenge that is thrown at me on the ground in a better manner than what I used to handle before.
DK, you once told me in an interview that Dhoni is a topper in the university that you are studying, and that Dhoni is always was more above you in terms of mental strength when it came to that crunch moments. When did you actually realize that in your career? Because it was almost some 6-7 years into cricket.
I think one of MS Dhoni is not the most technically perfect batsman. Neither is he most technically correct wicketkeeper. But then he's done both these skills, batting and keeping. He's been one of the best in the world for a long time now. especially in white ball cricket. He's arguably one of the best that's ever been. And in red ball cricket, even in test cricket, he scored in tough, challenging conditions where people have had better techniques. So there must be something to him that which a lot of other cricketers with so-called better technique that he possesses. And I put it down to his ability to understand situations and the mental makeup that he has going leading up to a game and during the game. And I think he is probably one of the most mentally astute cricketers going around. Be it the toughness part of it, physically also. He's braved through some big injuries that he's had, where a lot of people wouldn't have played a game. Shied away while batting. He's somebody who takes on. His pain threshold is very high, and he does a lot of things that a lot of people would not do. And that comes from not only the ability to obviously physically handle pain, but also mentally, get over it and do things for the team. And I felt that, that is a skill that he possessed, and he had abundance of it. A lot of people are technically very good, but then when you don't have this mental skill that goes along with it, they probably are not as successful as they can be. Whereas I think Dhoni at the international level proved that even with a good technique, you can go on to achieve special things if you're mentally, astute, mentally strong, you're ready for a challenge, and how you prepare and how you deal with it in the center.
What moment did you realize that you
I
have
don't
to
think
work?
it was a moment. I think, over a period of time, the way he's, obviously understood, adapted to various situations has made me realize that is one of his biggest strengths. Even when it comes to his keeping, he's not somebody like other keepers who works, hours and hours in taking catches or practicing when he hardly does it. He has great hand-eye coordination and a great awareness for the game and a strong pulse also where the ball is and where his hand should be, and he's got a great feel for it, which is not something that you can learn or practice. A lot of that is a little natural, but along with that comes a lot of mental skill, which he is probably at the top of that ladder in that skill, if you call mental skill.
On the flip side, DK, there are a lot of people who say that you were born in the wrong era, being a keeper with Dhoni at the other end. But do you take pride in the fact that you have played so many international games as a batsman and Dhoni as a keeper?
I don't believe in that statement, because I think when you say you're born in the wrong era, I think, limiting yourself to the small phase of cricket that you play, I think that's very unfair. One, because I think there's a lot more to life than just playing the sport and being successful at it. One. B, I think I would like to think I was born in a great era, because if MS wasn't there, okay, if suppose, imagine an MS Dhoni not being in a certain era, then I don't think I would have pushed myself to be the cricketer that I am today. And I think satisfaction doesn't come so much out of, comes out of success to a large extent, but also comes out of how much sacrifice and how much hard work you put in and how much you've improved over a period of time to achieve what you've achieved. And I think in those senses, if an MS Dhoni was in there, maybe I wouldn't have worked as hard as I should have. And that's one of the things. Maybe a Parthiv or a Saha would have been as good as him, and again put the same amount of pressure, and I would have had to kept constantly upping my skill. So you can't predict these things. I think these are very flimsy and cliched lines that people say. How I looked at it is, there is an MS Dhoni. What can I do to be in the Indian team? I need to be a better batsman whenever I get an opportunity. I need to score tons of runs. I need to score that much more runs than a batsman, to show that even though I'm a keeper, I can play as a batsman. I should be well versed in fielding as well, so that I'm not a liability on the field. So these are all the things that I was constantly working on. So if he wasn't there, I don't think I would have done any of these things. I would have been another cricketer who just kept playing the sport, maybe if I didn't have so many challenges. But as I said, that if Dhoni wasn't there, there would have probably been a Parthiv, there would have been a Saha, or there would have been somebody else, I don't know, who would have been pushing me in another level. It's not like they're pushing me, but then I have to be the best version of me to be part of the team. And I think that is a challenge as a cricketer that you need to be facing. So it's not about what Dhoni has achieved and whether I was born there. I think it's about what I have achieved personally and what self-satisfaction that I have. And I think I'm pretty okay with whatever I've achieved and how much work I have put in.
Talking about achievements, DK, you have close to 10,000 first-class runs. There are lots of things that you have achieved. But those 8 balls, how do you look at the 8 balls in the Dust Trophy final? How it has put the spotlight right on you?
I think I'll be, every player is always remembered for a few moments. Nobody remembers people's averages, the number of runs they score. You're always remembered for some special moments, some special victories, being part of teams that have won tournaments. These are what you're remembered for, apart from which the human being you are. I think these are the most important things that people remember you for. It's never, he's got 10,023 runs. Nobody will remember you like that. I think it's about, that inning there, that tournament there that they won, those kind of things, the World Cup and these kind of things. And for me, maybe I would be remembered for that 8-ball knock that I played in Nidha's Trophy. It will be a very prominent part of Dinesh Karthik, and I'm very happy with that. I think, it was a good tournament, a final, doing what I did was very nice. And as I said, it's not something that I feel unbelievable about, or I was like, wow. I think, as I've said before, I think it's a culmination of all the hard work that I put in that helped me achieve that on that day. But I don't remember myself as a cricketer for that. I think that was a match which I did very well in. But I've done sometimes better than that also in a lot of matches, which is of different consequences. Even for Tamil Nadu, when I played, I think I've played a lot of special innings, which gives me a lot of satisfaction, even maybe a little more than Nidha's Trophy. So what I like about the fact is I'll be remembered for Nidha's Trophy, and I'm really, obviously grateful for something like that. What I remember myself for is what I've achieved, not on the cricket field, but helping young guys and seeing them grow and do well, and those kind of things gives me a lot of satisfaction as well.
DK, there are a lot of cricketers, the modern day cricketers, who carry some 8 to 10 bats in their kit bags. They carry a lot of stuff, but I think you carry some 10 to 15 cricketers, net bowlers from Chennai to Bangalore to Bombay. How important is to invest in such cricket to get better as a cricketer at this stage of your career?
I think it's very important to invest in whatever you are using as your profession. When I say that, I think you got to invest in your cricket. Be it hiring. I think in cricket it's still not caught up, though it's slowly getting up there, where professionals hire. You take a lot of individual sports like tennis, golf, and these people have their own separate coaches. They have their own entourage.
Setup.
In cricket, because you play for different teams at different points of time, it's very hard to associate and keep working with one coach consistently. Whereas if you have your own personal coach, then you can obviously prepare much better and get ready for every tournament and with what is required. I think that helped me a lot.
DK, what is that exactly that Ravi Shastri keeps telling you? Because there's so much that's happening around you. What exactly does Ravi Shastri tell you? You go to bat.
He feels that as restless, and I'm always obviously restless, and I'm doing silly things. So when you go onto the crease, make sure you're calm and watch the ball and react to it. And I guess he believes in my talent and my ability to play shots. So he just told me to go out there and play freely whenever I get an opportunity.
Was that what you were thinking when Krunal Pandya said that and he turned down the single? You thought you could just do it?
Definitely. I think I believe that I could hit a 4 or a 6 at that stage, and I backed myself to do it.
So DK, now coming back to IPL, what is your best moment in IPL? You have played for so many teams. What is your best moment in IPL? If you had to pick one moment, this is it. This was my moment.
I think the best moment in IPL for me was when I was part of Mumbai Indians and we won that year. I think it was a hard year for us, and we had a new captain in Rohit Sharma, and we obviously the support staff were great. So we played a special tournament there, and that's in my memory, that tournament will last a long time because I had a good tournament personally, but more importantly, we won the tournament as a team, and that was fabulous.
What do you think of a player like Dre Russ? Andy Russ is at the other end, you're batting, and this man is just whacking everything out of him. Have you ever seen a clean hitter of a cricket ball like that in your career before?
Hard hitter of a cricket ball, I think, he's very powerful, and he can, very strong, he's got good shots, he's great. He's great to have as a player also. He gives us 100%. He leaves everything out on the field. He's just a great person to be around as well. Good, nice guy, very simple, always fun-loving, and he's good energy to have around the team as well. And what he does with a cricket bat is very special. I think he has a great swing, and if he connects the ball, it more often than not, a lot of times it goes outside the stadium. That's how powerful he is.
What do you think of a bowler like Kuldeep Yadav? If you're batting at him, how would you tackle him?
Oh, he's a terrific bowler. I think he's going from strength to strength every year. He's playing all 3 formats for India now, so that gives him a lot of confidence. And knowing him, he always wants to be the best bowler of that competition, of that game, and that constantly keeps spurring him on. And he's somebody who works really hard off the field as well.
How important is this combo, Ravi Shastri and Virat Kohli, the Indian setup? How do you see that?
They complement each other very well. I think Virat has a terrific disciplinarian. He's got his whole setup all ready for every game. He's got his mind on the game, mind on his batting, mind for everything that's required in captaincy. I think Ravi Shastri is somebody who's very positive in his outlook, and he constantly spurs people on to do their best. So I think they work very well as a pair.
Shahrukh Khan, what do you think of him?
I think first thing, I think he's a terrific person. In the little time that I've spent with him, he's a top owner to have. I think, he's genuinely a large-hearted person who wishes well for his team and other teams as well. He likes to see a good cricket match. I think he's somebody who's sport-loving. He's not all about KKR and we should win. He likes to see a good game, and as much as he loves KKR and wants us to do very well, I think he understands that he's able to understand losses and react to it in a very positive way. I'm lucky to have an owner like him, to put it in a nutshell.
So Dinesh Karthik can bat 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What DK can't do in a cricket field?
I can't bowl actually. I'm a very bad bowler.
Can't bowl. That's so honest answer.
I would have won a few more millions if I could bowl a bit of wrist spin or mystery spin.
Added more value to the mystery spinners being the.
I added more value to the team and more value to myself in the auction also.
In the auction. And DK, what do you think about social media and the trolls that people just show? They react very vigorously these days in social media. Something is done and immediately there's a troll that goes on social media. How do you see that as a cricketer? How does it actually affect a cricketer? So, for example, Vijay Shankar incident in Nida's Trophy.
Yeah, that was sad. That was sad. He was a young guy he didn't have a great day that day. But social media, I think Vijay Shankar is a good example. I feel, because I think as much as social media trolled him and pushed him down, I think that has made him the cricketer he is today, where he is batting at strike rates of 150, 160 every time he walks onto the field. I think the trolls and the social media would have played a small part in it, in making him a better cricketer and a better person that he is today. And I think everybody should take it that way. I think everybody should take it the way Vijay Shankar has probably taken it. You feel bad at that point, but then you use that energy to become a better person and a better cricketer that you can be, and not get so pulled and dejected by it or depressed by it. Use that as the best thing that, for me, I avoid it because I'm not so into reading or seeing those kind of things. So I'm not too, neither am I affected when when I don't do well, nor am I too excited when I do well. So I kind of tend to keep away a little bit. Even though social media is such a place that you can't run away from it. It is part of most people's lives. I think the way Vijay Shankar has done it, use that energy to become a better player, a better person, and today he is batting so well, and a lot of credit must go to him, the way he's worked hard, and I think people can use that social media in a constructive way as well.
DK, everyone has this go-to team where they have a group of friends. Talk us about the Chennai 28 reunion gang. Abhinav Mukund, Aparajit, Indrajit, Malolan, the entire setup.
Always through your cricketing journey that you've played, you always end up making a few cricketing friends, and for me, luckily my best friends are all associated who I've played with. Malo, there's Abhinav, there's Aparajit, Indrajit and Yomi. These 5 people are all associated with me. So I've all played the sport together. We've all played in one team. So very, very tight-knit group. It's interesting you call it Chennai 28 because even Abhi's marriage,
that's what exactly.
Was the hashtag. So we're very close to each other. We have a lot of good things to. We spend a lot of time together, especially during the playing days. Now obviously everybody's married and everybody's traveling here and there. Abhi is doing commentary a little bit. He's playing. Malo is playing for first division. The Babajis are busy playing for this. So everybody's traveling here and there. But when we are all in town, I think we do catch up, and when we meet together, it's a lot of fun, and we enjoy the times we spend together. Though it's becoming lesser and lesser with everybody's schedules and the way things have panned out. But it's been they're very special people to me because they're like I know at the end of the day, if I have something bad happening, they'll always be there for me, which gives me a sense of confidence also to in life as well, that you have some nice people around you, and obviously a lot of what I've achieved also should a lot of credit should go to them, because there were some tough moments there in my cricketing career which they were very integrally part of, which was very important for me at that stage, for me to come back and keep playing the sport well. So for which I'll never forget, and I think I'm grateful to have people like that around me.
DK, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure having you here. Good luck for IPL, and hopefully for the next 4 months that's ahead. Thank you so much, DK.